Spence, Archbishop's Council 464. It's nothing like pulling the short straw. I'm a new boy to this and I have no new theology to bring, but then who would expect a former banker to have any theology at all? There are two things I won't talk about after today. One is being a new boy, because I won't be a new boy anymore. And the other is about my blindness. But let me tell you a story. In 1987, I was told that my eyesight was failing and that I would have tunnel vision by the time I was in my 40s. In 1990, I could no longer see print on the page, no longer see images on the screen at the age of 38. Things felt bleak. I had the love of a wonderful wife, Yvonne, and 3 great children. But at that time, people who lost their eyesight were consigned to lose their jobs, to man telephone switchboards, or to work in disabled factories. There were no technological aids, there was no support, there was an expectation that I would be cast in the wayside. Even my group personnel director told me that I couldn't be promoted because I could no longer manage people. So life felt bleak. But I had 3 things. I had my faith. I focused always on the lilies in the field. I knew I had to trust people. I had to take a leap of faith with people I knew and those I didn't to help make life possible for me. And I knew I had to adapt. Well, what happened? Well, in the event, I went on to be managing director of Lloyds Bank and was able to move that personnel director into early retirement. I've been able to occupy a number of significant roles, including the privilege of this role on the Archbishop's Council. But much more than that. I discovered that my trust was more than fully repaid, that my leap of faith was given back in abundance. The trust was repaid not just from those I expected it, but from those I didn't. And that having adapted, I found other people adapted to me, those with whom I worked, my organisation, the world in which I lived. And today we have an understanding that those who are disabled are merely those who jump another hurdle in the race of life. And above all, I discovered a rich new world of possibilities. I chaired national disability charities and understood just how much people had to give and what this rich diversity can bring to all of us in mutual understanding. So what do I see now? If there are any of you who are still in all conscience struggling to decide whether you dare press the abstain or even the positive key. Your faith is my faith, is all of our faith. And every one of us is a vital role to ensure that that searing vision of the risen Christ is taken out into this troubled country. And if you can place your trust when there is not yet evidence, your trust will not be misplaced. You, like me, will discover just how kind and beautiful people can be. You'll come to see that promises will be delivered, just as I have done. And you, having adapted, find that adaptation is mutual. You can be confident in that we have to adapt to others just as others adapt to us. Because in that way you create that whole new world of possibilities. Today for me is not about 2/3 and 1/3. It's about the celebration of the coalition of consciences around the risen Christ. And I just feel that the stronger the vote we can give today, the greater the credibility we have in the outside world, but more important than that, the more confidently we can walk, hand in hand, to return this church to numerical and spiritual growth, and to return Christ to his rightful place at the centre of this country, its conscience and its culture. God bless you.